All right, the full court press is on for the Redskins to change their name. FedEx today demanded that they change the name, and people said, what did FedEx have to do with it? The stadium they play in, FedEx paid over $400 million for the naming rights. Also, there's a firm that has more in what a firm and also shareholders. They equal up to 87 people have asked Nike, FedEx, and a few other companies to end partnerships with the Redskins until they, you know, get a new name. And that firm and shareholders, they equal up to over $600 billion, $620 billion. So it seems that that investment firm and those shareholders, that's asking Nike, FedEx, and a few other companies to ask the Redskins to change their name or don't have any affiliation with them. It's working because FedEx is pressing them, and Nike has removed all Redskin apparel from their website. So let's talk about that. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Appreciate everybody for checking in. And Twitter's already started looking for different names for them. One name that started trending was the Washington Warriors. The Redskins was an old Native American tribe, I guess, or people, and they don't want Washington using that name. And Dan Snyder, the owner, has refused to change the name. Owners before him refused to change the name. They just retired their second jersey in their entire history, and their first black jersey number they retired was Bobby Mitchell. He left the franchise a few years, well, I think last decade or decade before last, because he was passed up for an opportunity to be able to run the team from a personnel standpoint. So he passed away and didn't even get to enjoy his flowers while he was there. They also named a section after him in the FedEx Stadium and took down the old name because it was named after a racist owner who refused to integrate black players on his team until, they took it to court and he had to. So just some history about the Redskins franchise. Now, I don't really have no disdain for the Redskins. It's not like the Cowboys or the Pack or the Bears and the Packers. I'm a Lions fan. So check my other channel out, Motor City Sports Talk 2, right here on YouTube. But, the name is offensive. Me personally, it don't affect me. I'll just keep it 100. It ain't called the Washington Niggas. You know what I'm saying? But I understand the sensitivity of it. And it's time for them to change the name. And now this George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Drayshawn Reed, Ahmaud Arbery situation has definitely changed the game. And why it has changed the game and why it's so potent at changing the game is simply because of the coronavirus. It's nothing to do but focus in on major news. Okay, you have nothing else to do. If you're essential, you busting your ass. Don't get me wrong. But most people sitting at home and they're able to sit there and have tunnel vision on the situation. Now everybody is seeing that America isn't perfect and racism is still alive and prevalent in this nation because everything is slowed down. That's kind of like somebody going to prison. If you ever been around somebody that did a lot of time in prison, like hard time, like 10, 15, 20 years, I worked out with them a lot of the times when I was in college. They patient. One thing that prison teach you to be is patient. Look at Michael Vick. When he got out of prison and played for Philadelphia, the game slowed down. He become patient. And when you on this mini lockdown that we've been on, everybody is able to be patient and see that we have a problem, and people starting to open their eyes when they never did before. If all this is happening and you working, you going to happy hour, you working out, or you chilling with the kids, you can go to the movies, you go to Red Robin's, Benny Hanna's, you can go to the AMC or whatever, or you go having fun. But if you are able to do nothing else but hone in on this situation, now everybody actually see that we have a problem. And now Uncle Ben's going to be changing. Aunt Jemima going to be changing. The Eskimo ice cream bars, they changing their name. I mean, just everything is changing. And it's because of the coronavirus. Everybody want to focus on the bad of the coronavirus. But a lot of people have learned a lot of good things or a lot of things they need to know. A lot of parents learned that it ain't the teacher, it's the kid that don't sit there and learn. A lot of people didn't learn that I'm married or I'm with the wrong person. Let me not make a mistake before we marry. We've been locked down together. It ain't working. A lot of people didn't learn that, what? I got to change some things up. I got to save some money a better way. I need to, get a side hustle or invest in real estate or invest in stocks and bonds and CDs and stuff of that nature. I need to start saving money. And it's been people that's not gonna learn, no matter how bad it get, until it get to the point where it's gonna be really, really bad. But it's one of the things that we can focus on and say is a positive, is that, you know, a lot of people are changing, and a lot of people want to do better. And a lot of people see we got an issue, and one of the issues is changing racist brand names. Dan Snyder thought it was gonna be a black thing. Nah, it's trickling over to everything. It's never just a black thing. We can never just have our time to fix us. Hispanics gonna say, don't forget about us. Asians gonna say, don't forget about us. You know what I'm saying? We getting attacked over the COVID-19, the coronavirus. Then they turn around and say, we brought it to China. I mean, but he had to see this coming. He should have changed the name. It was inevitable. The Washington Warriors, cool, but, you know, you want to associate a team name to their surroundings. You know, I don't know what's good about DC. I don't know. You can't be the Washington politicians. But we know DC is being Chocolate City and being what the White House is. So if they want to be called the Warriors, I don't have no issue with it. There's no words in the NFL. You know, and people forget that it's not the first name change in DC history. They changed the Bullets to the Wizards. I like the Bullets better, but the Bullets was seen to be violent and offensive with because they bullets. And as gun issues grow in this country, they had to change it from the Bullets to the Wizards. So DC is nothing new. You know, they made the Bullets change their name to the Wizards. So, you know, I would say, you know, I would want it to be something that represents what DC is about. Now, I haven't been to DC that often, but you want it to be something that represents your town. You know, if y'all want to be called the Warriors, cool. You know what I'm saying? Not sure whatever other names they would be considering, but the Warriors would be a easy name. You already said the Redskins. The Redskins, I'm pretty sure, were some proud people. You could just change that logo, keep the colors, and go to the Warriors. But to be honest, I would tell them just do a makeover. New colors, you know, new scheme, new jerseys, new logo, and that's it. But, you know, this was inevitable, and at some point he had to be prepared for this, for it to come, and for Nike to actually snatch all the apparel off their website and say, we're not selling this no more. Now they pressing them. Not the Native Americans, the Redskin people, Native Americans that felt, you know, who thought it was offensive. Now, you know, when you got white people that saying it's offensive, and you got white shareholders saying it's offensive, when you got black shareholders saying it's offensive, Chinese, Korean, whoever are these shareholders in these firms saying it's offensive, now the name can change. When it's just the Native Americans, they couldn't do it. And this is why you have people saying that you need white people, you know, in this country to really force change, you know, to help black people out, to help Asians out. And to a certain extent, it may be true. Because without white people and they $620 billion and, well, over $1 trillion in this situation, and probably even more, because those 87 firms and shareholders accounted for $620 billion. And then you got FedEx that paid almost $500 million, $405 million to be exact. You know, that's over $1 trillion that in companies and brand names that's associated with the Redskins and shareholders. That's a lot of power. It's nothing that Dan Snyder can do. So, per se, they say they don't change the name. Nike is the uniform provider for the NFL, the apparel provider for the NFL. One point it was it Reebok? One point was it Puma? I mean, you keep going on and on. People forget Champion used to sponsor NBA jerseys, I believe, in the apparel. Nike is the apparel. So at the end of the day, if Nike won't make your uniforms no more, and they have a license deal with the NFL, then we have a legal issue there. FedEx almost paid almost $500 million to have them naming rights. So I don't know how far in the deal they are, but FedEx probably gonna want their money back if you don't change the name. Those shareholders probably gonna pull out. So this is why people say white people are so powerful in this country, because the wealth goes through them. Well, if the Native Americans just pick it in and they had the blacks join them and the Asians and everybody, Hispanics join them, it just wouldn't have been enough. Now you're talking about the people that really pouring money into the franchise. Now it matters. So we'll see what Dan Snyder does. They ain't got that much time, but they can hurry up and change the logo, get some jerseys going. I would just say an overhaul. You know, you have teams that move around and never change their name, like the Lakers. People don't know. Ain't no fucking lakes in California like that. They was the Minneapolis Lakers, and they moved from Minneapolis to L.A. and they never changed the name. Ain't no, and they ain't in L.A. They ain't known for no lakes. So, you know, I would say if I'm the people down there in the DMV, I'm the DC Redskins fans, Washington fans, football fans, I would want something to be, you know, representative of the city. You know, obviously they can't be the politicians, but let me know what you guys think. I'll link some articles in the description so you can check it out. But you got $1 trillion that's on the line for Dan Snyder. If he don't change it, the Redskins, you know, the NFL might have a problem. Forget the Redskins. So we'll see what happens. Don't forget you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. All my social media links in the description if you need to reach me. If you have a YouTube question, check out my YouTube Builder playlist. But if you can't find it there, you can always hit me up on Twitter, man. That's the fastest way to IG than Facebook. You want to make a donation, Cash App, PayPal, inscription. Best way to donate is share the video. But yeah, man, let me know, you know, if you got any names in the comment section. I know it's a ton of Washington Redskin YouTubers out there. They won championships. There's a lot of hardcore Redskin fans out there. Let me know what you guys think the name change could be. The popular one was the Washington Warriors. That could change, but don't forget the Bullets changed from the Wizards. And a lot of people still don't like that, but hey, at one point, we got a whole bunch of kids, a generation that don't even remember when they was the Bullets, when Chris Webber had the jersey on. They don't even remember the jersey changed to the Wizards and none of that nature. So at some point, if our civilization goes on long enough, people gonna forget they was ever called the Redskins. It's gonna be a whole generation of new baby boomers, Generation X, that's gonna forget that the Redskins even existed. So once again, bros, I appreciate it, and sisters, appreciate it, man. Check my NFL playlist out for more stuff like that. We talk NBA, boxing, MMA. I have playlists for everything. So one time for the one time, we gone.